Hello and welcome back everyone to the next episode on SAP Datasphere overview training with me Anubhav on anubhavtrainings.com. In the last episode I showed you how to perform currency conversion in SAP Datasphere using currency conversion tables. Performing currency conversion and then reporting the numbers with an aggregated value in a common currency was an important task. In today's session we will learn about basics of what is data flow in SAP Datasphere. It is equivalent of extraction, transformation, and loading, what you traditionally do in BW. So we will learn how to build a data flow to bring in the data from multiple data models and data sources together and store that, persistent that data in SAP Datasphere. There are broadly two types of techniques offered by SAP, the standard data flows and also the scripted data flows. Our today's focus of the session is standard data flows in SAP Datasphere. Before we start, smash the like button. Kindly share and subscribe the channel so you get notified whenever we release free videos like this for your learning purpose. Having said that, let's begin our session for today. So what is data flow? As the name suggests, flow of data. So data flow allows us to perform ETL in SAP Datasphere. That's perhaps the most known term for all of you. What is ETL? Extract, transform, and load. So what happens is when you want to bring data from different data sources in DataSphere, sometimes you have special requirements to play with the data. Yes. One example could be, let's say I am bringing the data from three different data sources. I want to combine all through the join and then store in DataSphere. That is one example. Another example, I'm bringing data from all from HANA Cloud, but I want two fields from first table, three fields from second table, four fields from third table, and all of that I want to combine and store in one single place. That's another example of ETL. Then another example of ETL could be, I will bring the data, then I will transform. I want to do date conversion, time conversion, currency conversion, and then store in SAP Datasphere. So the whole process of cleaning the data, this process is called data munging or data wrangling. So you can perform data munging and data wrangling on top of incoming data from different data sources. That is where we use data flows. Last class, some of you also asked me, Anubhav, is it possible to replace the data? Is it possible to truncate the data? Can I control that every time I'm bringing data from a federated data source? Can I replace every time? Can I truncate every time? Can I update every time? Because let's say you are bringing 3 billion records. Now, once you loaded 3 billion record, which might took in a background job about 10 days or 4 days. Now, next time when you do bring the data from that federated data source in the analytics cloud, when you take a snapshot, you don't want to every day bring 3 billion records because maybe that is too big historic data. You just want to get the delta part. Yes, you want to update. You want to update. So to be able to achieve all of that, we have the concept of ETL. You can use ETL. And that's where we have data flows. Data flows allows you to configure a graphical flow of data, that what is the source and what is the target. So we can create a graphical flow of data where we have multiple sources to bring data. These sources can be local or remote, like you saw the remote table remote object in the last class. So we can bring all of that, and then eventually we can collect all the data in a single place. So we can create a graphical flow of data where we have multiple data sources to bring data, perform transformation, munging, wrangling, and store in a single target. So the target will be here a table. That's where we can store the data eventually. So that is basically allow or call as data flow. Data flow. So just it will be a graphical flow without any coding. However, if you are looking forward for complex data transformation, we can also use coding. Okay. So we will be creating now a data flow. So what I will do now is I will just go ahead and use my sources, my connection, and I will say go to SAP HANA Cloud connection. And we have a schema called Data Warehouse Cloud Demo Schema, DWC Demo Schema, where we find different tables from this remote source HANA Cloud. And I will bring my employees data. Here it is. You see this employees data? Just drag and drop that over here. And we will also bring the addresses data of employee. So we have addresses. Let's add a join node. So you see we have options to do join, union, projection, perform aggregations. Yes, all of that options are there. So now I will just go ahead and add a join node. You see it's a very low code, no code environment, almost zero coding. Yes. Let's perform the join now. And we will write the join condition. Yes. So here comes is the join condition. On what basis both the tables are going to be connected. So you see it is identified many properties between both the tables to define the join. My employees table, it has got employee ID and everything, and I'm my address table. So the join condition, it has done mapping with multiple properties for join condition. So I will just go back and did I choose union? I'm so sorry. I should have chosen join. Yeah, this one I should choose. Why it was doing a union. Yes, correct. So this is a join, guys. I don't know why it added a union node, though I added a join node. So this is basically a join between address and employee. It's an inner join, which is okay. And now after the join, we can add the next node to create a projection. So in order to minimize the volume of data transfer coming from HANA, we can create a projection. So system will only select few properties which we truly need to store in Datasphere. Suppose a source table contain 300 columns. Our requirement in Datasphere to not store all 300 columns. For analysis, our requirement is to just store few of them. Yeah. So we can add a projection over there. So we go to projection, and in the projection we will decide which columns I want, which I don't want. So I will get rid of the postal code, remove. I get rid of region, remove. I don't need address type. This validity date I need. I don't need latitude, longitude. Sorry, I don't need that. I need employee first name. I don't need middle name. I need initials. I don't need gender, language, phone number also I don't need, email address also don't need, and remove. So all the columns which I don't need, I have removed it. Now I need to add new columns at runtime. In my target table where all this data will go and sit, I would have just one column called employee name, which will concatenate employee first name, last name, and initials. All three will be concatenated and stored there. So I'll get rid of these also from here. I will be concatenating all three together with the initials. So I just have these properties for now, which is good. Let me go back and now create here the columns. You can add columns. Yes, from the ones which you removed it, or you can add calculated columns. So watch out, we add calculated columns. Now my first column is employee name I want to create. Employee name will be a combination of my employee initials, first name and last name. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So what I will do here, I will write an expression. So you can see there are a lot of functions provided by SAP. It's a formula builder where you can use different formulas and reference your columns. So I will just write an expression to concatenate. You see, the moment I'm typing, it's showing me the function names also. You can also come back here and choose here the function, for example, string functions, and you can see here concat function. Yes, concat function. I can choose that. You can also read the documentation of the concat function. Everything you can see it over here. So what I will do is I will just click this. You see the function have come. It only takes 2 arguments, but I want to concatenate employee first name, last name, and initials. So I will add one more concatenate inside concatenate. So first I will concatenate the employee name initial. I choose that, comma, employee first name, and then this whole thing which was concatenated, the initial and the first name, I'll concatenate with the last name. Very easy, simple concatenation. And the new column will be employee name. The length of this will be 30 characters, for example. I can validate my expression. I will be putting these expressions as part of our PPT. So you guys can go ahead and later on when you guys are creating, you can leverage and utilize that. Yes. So let me come back. So first we have the formulas used. So employee name, that's my column, and that is I'm creating with concatenation. Okay, cool. So that's the first part of the story. Now let's add one more. So I can click on columns, and now I will add one more calculated column. And as I told you, we still need email ID and the phone number of employee, but we would need to mask it. So we come back and we choose phone number, but I need to do some operation where I will truncate and get it. So what is the formula we are going to use? Let's say somebody's number is 95604666594. This is the phone number. So what I will do, I'll take the first 4 digits of the number and I'll take last 2 digits of the number. And what I will do, the remaining these 4 digits I will replace with X. So the actual output will be 9560 XXXX94. So this is the masking. So actually someone who read the data later on, they will never know what is the actual number. What's the actual number? How to do that? So what we do is we will take, let's say this is the, let's say this is variable X. So I'll say write X of, let's say 2. So please get me from the right side 2 characters of the phone number. So I get that. Yes. Then I'll say left X of 4. Please get me from the left side the first 4 characters of this number. So the right X2 is 94. Right, the left of X4 is 9560. And then I'll say concat. Yes. Let's call it as Y, Z. And I will say concat my Z with this hard coded string. Yes. And then this I will call it as, let's say, alpha. Then again I do concat my alpha with Z. So as a result, this is my alpha. Alpha is Z. Sorry, yeah, Y. So Z is what? 9560. So 9560. Then concat with XXXX. That is your alpha. Then concatenate alpha with Y. So what is Y? 94. So you see, now you got your number. So this is a HANA function, right, left, concat. These are all HANA functions which are which we can use to basically do the masking. So let us go ahead and add that here. I will say concat, and I will say I want to concatenate I want to basically this. So usually you see some test data in your company, they will have data like this, they mask the data. So how do they mask the data? Utilizing this some kind of operation on the system. And I say right side part, phone number, comma, 4. Yes. The last 4 digit of my phone number, please take that and concatenate. So that will be the phone number what I'm going to get. You can validate the expression. You see it is complete and no errors were found. Now next one, what I will be doing is, I will be just going ahead and creating the email address also. Yes, let's go ahead and create an email address now in the system. So what I will do is, I will just go ahead and create another column. Let me also put this formula into the system over there in the system. Yes. So let's do that. So we will be adding the email address also. Okay. So you can see guys, we have got here the projections, and in the projections now we have got all these columns. We've got phone number, email address and employee name. You can clearly notice that whenever you see this fx, which means these are calculated columns with functions. That is what you can actually see over here. Yes, makes sense. Now, once this part is done, what is the next step we are going to do? We are going to create a final table where this data is going to get stored. So let's go ahead and do that. So you see this last button here to add a table. I click on that button and you see it is creating a table now. So let's say target, yes, target table, which will store all the data related to your data flow. And I can say target employee master. So this is my target employee master table. Yes. So I will just go and create. So now you see it is giving an error that the table doesn't exist, which is fine. We can click on create and deploy the table first. So this will create a table now for us in the system. And this table will be persisted now in SAP Datasphere. Let's deploy our data flow. The naming convention says DF. DF means data flow. Yes, I can say data flow employees. I can click on save, and now I can trigger the deployment of data flow. So remember one thing, deploying the data flow will not bring the data. Deploying means you're just activating your data flow. Yeah. You have to execute the data flow to get the final results ready. So I've deployed it now. You see it is deploying the data flow in the system. Yes. And now once it is deployed, we can click on run button to execute the data flow. So you see data flow run has started. You can see on the right side it's running. And if there is an issue, you'll get to know that. Now, as I told you, you can schedule the data flow also. That every night 12 o'clock, this data flow has to execute. Yes, that you can create a schedule as well. If there are any issues, Anubhav, how do I know? So you have this button called data flow monitor, which I will also show you later point of time, where we can go and check if the data flow has any issue, any problem. So you will also get to know that when you check the data flow monitor. So you can see it's still running. I can just refresh here to check the status if the execution is finished. You see the execution is finished, it's completed. And we can go back and check our table. It has persisted all the data in Datasphere by bringing from different data sources. You see, it has got me all the data. So if you go on the right side, look at this. Phone number was masked, email address was masked. Wow. Awesome, Anubhav. Awesome. There you go. There you go. Cool. Beautiful. Thank you so much for all of you for attending today's session on the topic of SAP Datasphere. As usual, please feel free to subscribe the complete training end-to-end on SAP Datasphere, SAP Analytics Cloud, SAP BTP, UI5 Fiori, or any other technical skill set which you would want to upgrade in this new world of cloud. So do not forget to visit www.anubhavtrainings.com. Also, shoot us an email on contact@anubhavtrainings.com for any of the requirement regarding the technical training in the space of SAP. With that, Anubhav signing out. Once again, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next episode.